Hello everyone, welcome to my channel on brake particle emission. To know more about brake particle emission, we need to have the knowledge of particulate matter, or in short, PM emission. Today, we will discuss about different features of PM emission, its health impact, sources, measurement methods, and regulating system. The term particulate matter refers to the wide variety of tiny substances that float in the air in the form of either solid particles or liquid droplets, or both, and its size, shape, and chemical composition all range widely. Based on particle size, PM is divided into four groups. PM10, known as the coarse particulate matter, which is 10 micrometer or less in size. PM2.5, known as the fine particulate matter, which is 2.5 micrometer or less in size. And PM.1, known as the ultrafine particulate matter, which is zero point 0.1 micrometer or less in size. Furthermore, PM.3 particles with a diameter of zero point 0.3 micrometer are known as quasi-ultrafine particles, and the majority of PM particles are formed in the environment by chemical reactions between contaminants. This variation in PM size does have some different health impacts, which we will show in our upcoming slides. However, this various sized PM can float in the surrounding air and can also travel certain distance based on its individual gravitational weight, size, and density. Here, due to the bigger size, coarse particle can settle in the ground within an hour, whereas fine particle still be in the air for around a week to travel further. The higher percentages of PM emission is actually a combination of various sized PM, around 90%. Now comes the sources of PM. There are three different sources: primary, secondary, and the other common sources. Primary particles actually are straightforward. They come out of a tailpipe or chimney in the form of dust, soot, smoke from combustion. Secondary particles form when gases like sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxides, and volatile organic compounds chemically react in the air to make particles. So, controlling emissions of gases also reduce PM. That's why policies often target both particulate sources and precursor gases. Among all the particulate matter, PM 2.5, that means the fine particles, are more harmful. So, we describe its sources with diagram in figure 2. In this section, let's look at the major health and environmental impacts of particulate matter and the standards that guide air quality regulation globally. First, the health effects. Short term exposure to particulate matter can cause irritation of the eyes, nose, and throat, along with coughing and asthma attacks. These effects can appear within hours of exposure, especially for sensitive groups such as children, the elderly, and people with respiratory conditions. But long term exposure is where we see the most serious consequences. Over months to years, inhaling fine particles is linked to chronic obstructive pulmonary diseases, heart disease, stroke, and an overall reduction in life expectancy. Essentially, these particles go deep into the lungs and even enter the bloodstream, triggering inflammation throughout the body. Particulate matter doesn't just affect people, it also affects the environment. One of the visible impacts is reduced visibility, often seen as haze. This happens because fine particles scatter and absorb sunlight, which makes landscapes and city skylines appear washed out or blurry. You can see this especially clearly in places like national parks or during pollution episodes in cities. PM can also damage vegetation by depositing on leaf surfaces and interfering with photosynthesis. And certain types of particles, like black carbon, contribute to climate change by absorbing sunlight and warming the atmosphere. To protect both health and the environment, we rely on air quality standards. The World Health Organization updated its global air quality guideline in 2021 to reflect new scientific evidence showing that even low concentrations of air pollution can be harmful. Different regions, such as the European Union and the US Environmental Protection Agency, use their own regulatory limits. Many of these are now being reviewed to move closer to the WHO's health based recommendations. Now comes the measurement, mitigation, and call to action steps. From a policy perspective, reducing fuel combustion and precursor emissions is key. For individuals, stay informed from local PM levels, avoid heavy outdoor activity on high PM days, and use HEPA filtration indoors. From a monitoring standpoint, gravimetric methods remain the reference standard, but optical sensors let us get real time readings that are useful for public alerts. Thank you all for watching this presentation, and please be with us by subscribing my channel for more informative videos. Till then, bye bye.